Hello and welcome to the Week 6 announcements video for CIS 527 in summer 2022. So this week you should be wrapping up Lab 5, which is due today at 7 p.m. So make sure you get that done. Most of lab grading is really simple and we'll talk about that in just a minute. You should also be wrapping up the Week 5 discussion, which is also due tonight by midnight. So make sure you get that done. This week you'll be working on Week 6 content. So the Week 6 quizzes are due Friday, and then Lab 6 and the Week 6 discussions are due next Monday. So for Lab 5 grading today, the biggest thing I'm going to check is that you can SSH from your system to the front end, and that I can also use the grading SSH key to get into your front end, and then that we can SSH from your front end to your back end. We'll also do things like checking the firewall, the date and time configuration. We're going to check Apache DNS and make sure that HTTPS is working, so Apache is running on your back end. And then on your front end, you should have Docker with Docker reverse proxy set up. And so we should have 3 different websites we can access, 1 on the back end using Apache, and then 2 on the front end in Docker using some sort of reverse proxy. They should all be set up so that we can access them. So hopefully you've got all that working for Lab 5. If you're having trouble, feel free to schedule a time with me, and I'd be happy to meet with you and get that checked out. So the speaker that you're going to look at this week is Sarah Allen. Sarah Allen is the system administrator for McCown Gordon and a former CIS 527 student who's now working in industry in system administration. Her background is mainly in help desk and frontline support for a large construction company. And so because of that, she deals with some unique challenges that a lot of other companies may not face. And her expertise is really interesting in that particular area of the field. So look forward to checking that video out of Sarah. And then, of course, you'll respond to a few prompts and ask a few questions of Sarah at the end of that. So this coming week, you're going to work on Lab 6. I don't have that posted right now, but I should have that posted by the end of today. Lab 6 is mainly focused on doing things around file servers and drive mappings on Windows and Linux. We're also going to look a little bit at application servers and web servers. And by the end of Lab 6, you'll have a couple of working web apps. The plan is for Lab 6, you'll do the Windows stuff in your VMs, and you'll also do the file server stuff in your VMs for Linux. And then in the cloud, you're going to actually deploy some sort of a web app to Docker. I believe we're going to do WordPress, but I need to look into that a little bit to make sure that that works the way I want it to before I actually post that lab. Also, we're getting toward the end of the semester, so now's the time to start thinking of your final project. The goal for the final project is to build something new or fix something related to system administration. So you can think about systems you interact with on a daily basis that you'd like to change, or something that you think you might want to build that has a system administration component to it. Some things you could think of would be setting up a web resource for a new startup. So how would you deploy their website? How would you host that? How would you maintain that? Automatically setting up a bunch of new laptops for a school, designing some sort of central authentication and networking system for a company, discussing the differences between using thin clients and thick clients in a computer lab, the choice of antivirus clients, the choice of using Chromebooks for web development. There's lots of things that you can look at related to system administration. If you're not sure, you can chat with me for ideas. The biggest thing for this final project is to come up with something, propose it, and then do a SWOT analysis of your proposal. And so I'm really curious about the SWOT analysis more than anything, where you'll look at the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I will admit, in years past, most students have spent a lot of time on the design of the final project and then not a lot of time on the SWOT analysis. But the SWOT analysis is really more of the points of your final project. So make sure you leave plenty of time to do a deep analysis on it and really try and present to me the pros and cons and show that you've thought through this very quickly. Don't forget, if you need it, you can get the GitHub Education Pack. You can go to try.digitalocean.com/free trial offer, or go to nc.me to get access to DigitalOcean and Namecheap for super cheap, if not free. I also have some credits at both of those, so if you need any help getting any of the resources for this class, just let me know. Otherwise, feel free to keep in touch. I still have discussions on Discord. I host tea time every Tuesday at 3:30 and Friday at 10:30. It's a great time to just hang out and chat while you work on stuff. You can also schedule one-on-one office hours with me using my Calendly link that's in my email signature and the syllabus. I'm always available, so don't be afraid to ask me questions. Other than that, we're getting near the end. We're on week 6 of 8, so just 2 more weeks to go. Make sure you keep up on the labs. Make sure you start thinking about your final project. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you again next week.